Hello, how y'all doing? How y'all been? I'm back again. This is Aziza with Self Love Diaries. Now, this is a place where I a lot of times talk about my personal journey, things that may happen or have happened, and how it's affecting me, how I may have gotten through it, if it's a past situation, or how I personally am trying to work through things. But a lot of times you will catch me talking about social issues as well and how we're handling them. And I may pose questions about how should we move through them. So today is a social day. I'm not talking about me today. Um, Before I really start talking, I would love to say that for all of my uh, Caucasian friends or people that I deem to be a friend, I hope you feel the same way, you know. Um, but this is not necessarily about you unless it's about you, if that makes sense. So, not too long ago, Jason Aldean dropped a song, and everybody has been talking about it. And I was gonna stay away from the conversation because I just wasn't in a place where I was triggered enough. I said to myself, well, this isn't really surprising even though it hasn't happened in a long time. We haven't had any songs that were blatantly, well, not blatant because it's not blatant. It's it has undertones of racism, and I heard it loud and clear. But there's a lot of people who don't tend to see it and don't want to talk about it, and it just doesn't exist in their mind. Anyway, let's talk. So this song, it like I said, it didn't trigger me that much. I wasn't surprised. Um, Being black in America, I just don't understand how most people don't see it, especially if you're black. I just don't understand. However, we're not getting into that right now. What triggered this video is the fact that there was a Caucasian woman online, and she's from a small town. And she says that she stays in or near a town that considers itself a sundown town. Now, immediately my mind went south, but I was still very much surprised at the fact that there are still sundown towns in 2023. Sundown town. Think about that. And when I said something to my mother about it, and she was born and raised up here, even though her mother is from the South, and she really didn't know what I was talking about, and I was very much surprised. I was like, "What? You don't know what a sundown town is?" But I said, no, it has to be like a small amount of sundown towns. So I got to digging. Wait a minute. Let me back up. Anyway, she was saying that this song, sentence by sentence, has very clear and direct meanings and messages. And when he, like, for instance, we're not going to go through the whole thing, but for instance, when he talks about don't cross that line, it means that you shouldn't cross the line, either the state, county, city, town line if you look like me. And if you do, there'll be repercussions behind it. So, like I said, I got to researching sundown towns because I didn't think that it was like a lot of them. It's a lot. It's not funny. Like, it is not funny at all. But there are a lot of sundown towns. Then I ran across a sundown town map. There are a lot of sundown towns, even in the Midwest. Like, for instance, there is, and I just found this out today, actually, because my extensive search, it's crazy how my brain works. When I get triggered by, and I need to know about something, I start going like digging crazy. Like I'm Googling, I'm looking up videos, I'm watching everything. I'm like, okay. So when I'm doing my little research on this sundown town thing, I am just seeing so much information, so many places. There is a place in Illinois called Anna, Illinois. ANNA. And I don't know the young man's name, okay, that put this out here. But thank you for opening up my eyes, because on the road I have seen that going down state Illinois, that town. And in Illinois, okay? 2023. This ain't Georgia. This is not Vida, Texas, which is a sundown town, just saying. But this isn't a place in New Orleans. Not to say that this is okay, because in 2023, me being oblivious to the fact that this is still alive and kicking. I mean, there are signs up on the side of roads, like our, one-way merging, four-way stop sign, or whatever, four-way street, whatever. They have signs that say the Sundowners, what do they call it? So community watch. Or it might be a green sign that say, this is a sundown town. If you brown, turn around, whatever the heck. What? Do we need a green book in 2023? Why ain't nobody talking about this? Sorry, my kids, they distract me. Anywho, let's keep going. Well, we ain't talking about this. We just out here like, oh yeah, we traveling, we doing it. Ain't nobody saying don't get off at so-and-so exit. Okay? Anyway, nobody's saying it. Do we need a green book? Do anybody? Okay, so some people don't know what a Green Book is. Go watch the movie The Green Book. This was a book back in the day that it was a secret book that we passed around. I believe a mailman put it together that looked like us, or me, should I say, to whoever is listening. And it was a list of gas stations that you could go to, hotels that would accept you, places that you should not be in after 6 o'clock. They made a movie. It wasn't real deep though. It was, but it was good. It was good for what it was. I'm just saying. Y'all have a good day. I hope that gave y'all something to think about. You know what? Let me not end it there. So, I was a driver at the railroad once upon a time. I know I've talked about this place several times because I learned so much while I was there. There was a lot of people, like I said, that my ace booms, if I seen them in the street, I'd be like, oh my God, However, the ratio from that to, there were so many people out there that had these undertones of racism. And it was so sad to see, because it was a male-dominated industry, of course. But it was so sad to see the amount of racial jabs that are thrown in that place. And what's even sadder is that it's some brothers out there. It's some brothers that work there that have been there so long. And, as humans and nice people or naive or whatever, but to watch them have this playful banter that a lot of times was not a joke. And I'm just sitting there watching with my heart breaking, because for this dollar bill that they making, and it was a lot of shit slinging. I mean, from the higher ups would throw shit on everybody, from the best man that they got out there, all the way down, and it would have this trickle effect where the higher ups would throw shit on everybody, but the Caucasian males that felt some type of way about black people, there was a couple different layers of them. It was some that would just not talk to you at all and act like, oh, you nigger. And then there were ones that wouldn't necessarily act like that. They would play around and have laughter and jokes, but sometimes they would have these little racial darts, I'm not going to necessarily give you an example of that, but then they would throw racial darts at the brothers. And to keep your job, to keep the peace, or what have you, I would see them just kind of play along with the joke. That wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke, but it was a joke, and it was funny. If that makes sense. And it had gotten to the point where they were completely numb. That was another reason why I had to leave, because I was seeing too much. I was looking around that place, and it was no longer fun and funny. I was starting to see through the veil, and it was time to go. But it's so much of that going on in this country. And it's so many people sitting there, for their contract or they great job to continue riding in my car and to continue sitting in this house and to continue to fit in on my block if I'm accepted. We act like we don't see what's going on. And it's sad that in 2023, we probably still need to update the Green Book. And y'all want to act like ain't nothing happening. And for those who are allies, you're married to a sister or a brother, and in heart of hearts, you mess with us, man, stop not saying anything. Seriously, like, when is change coming, to be exact? And people can still, I'm sure that the world is going to continue to find a way for certain people to be on top, per se. Can't y'all do that without all of this undertones of hatred? And it takes a lot of work to map out plans of hatred and mistreatment. It just does, doesn't it? Doesn't it get tiring? Now I'm gone. Y'all have a good day.